If this game has taught me anything, it's that I'm a great driver. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. This is Ghost Recon Wildlands, a new open-world shooter from Ubisoft. Needless to say, I was a bit hesitant, but luckily, Ghost Recon Wildlands is really good, or at least in the places that matter. Now, I don't know much about Ghost Recon, surprisingly given my past with the series, so I don't know if this is normal or not, but the game starts off with a little story. And by a little, I mean, oh my god, shut up, where's the skip button? Then it's time to create your character. There's actually quite a bit of customizability here, having options not only for your face, but your clothes, vest, hat, and colors for each. Once you're done making your super fashionable soldier, it's off to Bolivia, which I'm sure the Bolivian government is just thrilled about. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's time for more story! Oh god. You're joined on your mission by 3 other agents, with little to no personality.
Nobody wants to deal with a drunk on the bus.
That explains why you smell like ass.
Such a lovable bunch. Finally, now it's time to listen to more story, apparently. Oh god damn it, shut up! Apparently we are the best covert ops team the country has to offer. We are doomed, and we're here to destabilize this tattooed Mr. Potato Head's operation. Now it's time to freaking play. Turns out Ghost Recon Wildlands reminds me a lot of Just Cause, but grounded a bit more in reality. In that game, I spent most of my time running around from area to area, clearing out enemies and collecting everything. In Ghost Recon, I spent most of my time running around from area to area, clearing out enemies and collecting everything. It helps that there's a lot to do, with small little bases to take out, large bases to take out, side missions to do, and to a lesser extent the story missions. I say lesser extent because when I play open world games like this, I tend to do everything but the story missions. Throughout the world, there are a bunch of different supplies to gather, like food, medical supplies, gasoline, what have you. These supplies are actually a currency for purchasing new skills for your character. You'll also need skill points for this, which you get by leveling up or, as you might have guessed, finding them throughout the world. Weapons are almost fully customizable, by the way, and there are a ton to choose from. Let's just add a plus to that column. Here's how a typical base encounter goes in Ghost Recon. After approaching the base, you'll send up a drone to help scout the area and tag enemies. Why don't enemies see this drone flying around? I don't know, and don't ask questions! You can then use skills like Sync Shot to have your compadres take out enemies with you from a distance. After this, you'll move in, clean up the scraps, and collect any materials you find. In true Batman fashion, there may be an informant in the area that you can interrogate for information on supply locations, intel locations, or skill point locations. Now don't get me wrong, Ghost Recon is not super easy. If you mess up and the enemies start attacking and you don't take cover, you're gonna go down pretty quick. Granted, your team can most likely revive you, but the ease in which you can die should help keep you on edge. There are other types of content to do, like taking out supply convoys, or delivering a supply plane or helicopter. Speaking of which, I'm a great pilot. Oh boy. Whoops. Best covert ops team in America, people! Turns out pretty much every vehicle in Ghost Recon is drivable, and I mean every. There's also not a lack of content. At first I thought to myself, yeah, this map is big, but it's not that big. Then I realized you could zoom out. Whoa. Whoa. This large map is just 1 out of roughly 20. Yeah, that's a lot of map. Sadly, I feel the weakest part of this game is the story. It's just so bland. And the dialogue. Oh dear lord, the dialogue. Let me say that I have no problem with language in games, but these characters cuss like they're 12-year-olds trying to impress a bunch of high school kids. Hint, cussing every other line doesn't make you cool. Backwards hats make you cool. Motherfucker. Thankfully, there's still one thing about Ghost Recon that I love. The game is heavily focused on co-op. At least for now, PvP's still in the works. But it is freaking fun. At any time, you have the ability to join a public co-op game, have people join your game, or you can join the game of your friends. Just for kicks, I hopped into the game of one of my close personal punching bags, Bill Murphy, editor of MMORPG.com. He proceeded to get us killed. Nice going, numbnuts. Eventually, we learned to coordinate and plan our attack. This actually made a mission that I had just done by myself a lot more entertaining and enjoyable. We then had an experience that completely sold me on the co-op of Ghost Recon. We took down an enemy convoy by ramming the lead car with ours, blowing up the guard in the rear with a mounted machine gun, and then gunning down the gasoline tanker, tagging it, and bailing seconds before it blew. It was an awesome moment that Bill and I shared. Moments before Bill took off in a helicopter, leaving me in the middle of a firefight. What the f? Murphy, I will kill you! Final first impressions, Ghost Recon Wildlands is a lot of fun and what I wished The Division would have been, replacing grinding and bullet sponges with strategy, planning, and cooperation. And cars. Oh, that is gonna cost me. I do not deserve a license. And that was Ghost Recon Wildlands. If you ever see me on, hit me up. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos. I've also put another video for you to watch right up here. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook for some random thoughts. And if you want to help the channel, you can donate to me on Patreon like these other amazing people. I bet they wouldn't leave me in the middle of a firefight, Bill Murphy.